Hello dear students, welcome to Tejomaya YouTube channel. In this video, I am going to discuss about refraction. I have already discussed about reflection concept in the previous two videos. There, we have discussed about electromagnetic waves, what is light, how reflection happens on a plane mirror as well as a concave mirror. Along with that, I have derived the expression for the focal length in terms of radius of curvature, that is f is equal to r by 2. Along with that, I have also explained the sign convention, and then ultimately I have derived the expression for mirror equation. All these concepts are covered in two different videos. So this is the third video in this series. So based on the speed of light in different media, we can divide the medium into two different ways. One is rarer medium and the other one is denser medium. Okay, if I consider the rarer medium is the one in which light moves faster, then denser medium is the one in which light moves faster. For example, let me consider here it is air and here it is glass. Okay, here I am considering glass. So in which medium light moves faster? Of course, air medium. So light moves faster in air medium, but in glass light moves a bit slower compared to air medium. So that this air medium is considered as rarer medium and glass is considered as denser medium. Okay, so comparatively, so then you can compare with glass and water, water with air, air with glass, glass with quartz, air with quartz, water with quartz, like that. You can compare between two different media. Then by finding the speed of light in different media, two different media, you can tell which one is rarer medium and which one is denser medium. Okay, so comparatively, in which medium the light is moving faster. Okay, do remember one thing. Second thing, when light moves from one medium to another medium, it may be from rarer medium to denser medium or denser medium to rarer medium, light bends. Okay, so light bends when it moves from one medium to another. So when light moves from one medium to another medium, light bends. Okay, so I'll explain that in detail while explaining the refraction. Now do remember this: when light moves from rarer medium to denser medium, it bends towards the normal, and when light moves from denser to rarer, it bends away from the normal. Okay, so the property of denser medium and rarer medium is represented by a term called refractive index. Okay, refractive index, it is represented by n. Okay, or sometimes we can represent that by mu also. So n or mu are the terms which we use to represent the refractive index. What is that? Refractive index. Okay, in this we have two types. One is absolute refractive index and second one is relative refractive index. Okay, one is absolute refractive index and the second one is relative refractive index. See, absolute refractive index is given by n is equal to c by v. Means, for example, if I take water, refractive index of water is equal to speed of light in vacuum, that is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, divided by speed of light in water. This is called absolute refractive index, where we discuss about single medium. Means refractive index of water separately, refractive index of glass separately, refractive index of air separately. That is called absolute refractive index. If we compare the refractive index of one medium with another medium, then we consider the relative refractive index, that is given by N21 is equal to N2 by N1, or N12 is equal to N1 by N2. So N1 is absolute refractive index, N2 is absolute refractive index. So the comparison between those two, N1 by N2 or N2 by N1, is called relative refractive index. This is called absolute refractive index, and this is called relative refractive index. So one is absolute refractive index and the other one is relative refractive index. So these are the basic things that you should know to understand the refraction in a better way. So refraction. What is refraction? Refraction is a process in which when light moves from one medium to another medium of different refractive index, then light bends. Okay, so refraction is the bending of light when it moves from one medium to another medium of different refractive index. Okay, so if I consider two different media of two different refractive indices, okay, so let me write here. So here I am considering glass medium. Okay, let's consider this is glass. Okay, and here we have air. So we know that air is a rarer medium and glass is a denser medium. Okay, so this is denser medium, this is air, what is this? This one is rarer medium. Let us consider this is first medium whose refractive index is N1 and this one is second medium whose refractive index is N2. Then let me consider one normal here. Okay, so this is the normal line. Normal is nothing but the imaginary perpendicular line we have drawn to the surface at which the light undergoes refraction. Let me consider a light ray which is moving this direction and incident on the surface here. This is also a optical medium. Okay, so a part of light gets reflected and part of light gets refracted. Actually, in the absence of this glass, light would have moved in this direction. Okay, so it would have moved in the straight direction. If I write a straight line, so actually light would have moved in this particular direction. But because of different refractive index, light bends. Here, light is moving from rarer medium to denser medium, so it bends towards the normal. Which one is normal here? So this N, O, N dash is the normal here. Okay, so this is normal. This is incident ray. Incident ray. So incident ray, instead of moving this direction, it bends towards the normal. So this is called angle of refraction. So the process of or the bending of light when it moves from one medium to another medium of different refractive index is called refraction. It may bend away from the normal also, but that happens when light moves from denser medium to rarer medium. For example, if the light moving from glass to air, it bends away from the normal. Here, this NO N dash is the normal. This is the incident ray. This is the refracted ray. And here, instead of moving this direction, light is bending towards the normal. And this angle is called angle of refraction. That's it. And now, we have very important two more question here. That is, what are the laws of refraction? Let me write here. Laws of refraction. This is very important question for second PU board examination. So as in the case of laws of reflection, here also we have one law, that is the incident ray, refracted ray and normal drawn at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. Okay, let me write here the incidence ray, refracted ray and normal drawn at the point of incident all lie in the same plane. Okay, the incident ray, refracted ray and normal drawn at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. Means incident ray in this direction, refracted ray in this direction, normal in this direction. You can't expect incident ray in this direction, refracted ray in this direction, or in this direction, or in this direction, or in this direction, and normal in this direction. Okay, no, they all lie in the same plane. Normal, incident, refracted. Okay. Second law. What is second law? I will write here. So second law of reflection is angle of incidence is always equal to angle of reflection. But here angle of incidence is not equal to angle of refraction. No, because the light ray is bending here. This is called refracted ray. Okay, and this is called angle of refraction. Now, angle of incidence is not equal to angle of refraction, but we have the law, that is sine of an angle of incidence divided by sine of an angle of refraction is a constant for a given medium. Okay, now here the ratio of sin I to sin R is a constant. Okay, means the ratio of sine of an angle of incidence, that is sin I, to the sine of an angle of refraction, that is sin R, is a constant. And this law is called Snell's law. This is called Snell's law. Do remember this, very, 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 very important. Snell's law. Okay, dear students. So one is the incident ray, refracted ray, normal drawn at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane, and the ratio of sin I to the sin R is a constant. That is called Snell's law. Now we'll discuss about Snell's law in detail. Now we have Snell's law concept. Let us discuss about this. What is Snell's law? The ratio of sin I to sin R is a constant, isn't it? So mathematically we can write this like this: sin I divided by sin R is a constant. What kind of constant is this? Nothing but sin I divided by sin R is equal to n2 divided by n1, or nothing but n2 by n1, that is n21. Sin I by sin R is a constant, that is called refractive index of second medium divided by refractive index of the first medium, that is equal to relative refractive index. Actually it is a constant, it doesn't have any SI unit. Okay, so relative refractive index. Now elaborating this, sin I divided by sin r is equal to N2 is nothing but the absolute refractive index of the second medium, that is C by V2 divided by N1 is the absolute refractive index of the first medium, that is nothing but C by V1. Here C and C will cancel out and you will left with V1 by V2. V1 by V2. Okay, so this is called the Snell's law. But there is a limitation for Snell's law. There is a limitation for Snell's law, that is limitation of Snell's law. Let us consider this case where light is moving normal to the surface of refraction. So if I consider a medium here, okay, so this is the normal, okay, and let us consider the incident ray. The angle of incidence is I and light bends towards normal and moves. What if angle of incidence is 0? Means light ray is moving in this direction, means light ray is moving like this, means I is equal to 0, then light moves undeviated. Okay, light moves undeviated, means angle of refraction is also 0. Then what happens to Snell's law? So sin 0 by sin r, that is also 0, that is equal to 0 by 0, which is undefined. So Snell's law is not applicable for normal incidence of the light ray. Okay, Snell's law is not applicable for normal incidence of the light ray. Very important 1 mark question. Okay, dear students, I think all of you have. Next, we have the concept called total internal reflection. Dear students, this total internal reflection is explained by using the concept called refraction through a optical medium. Means nothing but here light ray, instead of moving from rarer medium to denser medium, I consider the light ray which is moving from denser to rarer. Let me consider here. Here I have a glass medium which is denser, whose refractive index is N2. Okay, and here we have air which is not denser, is rarer, and whose refractive index is N1. Now, instead of moving, which one is that? Light. Instead of light moving from rarer to denser, now I consider the light ray which is moving from denser to rarer. Before that, let me draw a line. Which line is this called? This is called normal. Okay. This line is called the normal line. Now, let me consider an object here inside this. Let me consider a coin. I have 1 rupee coin here. Okay. So when light ray moves through this normal, okay, light ray which is moving through this normal will not get deviated, means it moves in the same direction. When light ray moves in this direction, okay, instead of moving in the same direction, it bends. Yes or no? Not this much. Let me consider it bends in this direction. Means when light ray moves from denser to rarer, it bends away from the normal. Let me consider this is angle of incidence, this is angle of refraction. If I consider one more light ray whose angle of incidence means this angle is much more than this one, then the light ray bends further, and at one particular angle of incidence, okay, so let me consider this is angle of incidence which is equal to critical angle, then light ray bends further and raises the surface of separation. Let me consider the glass medium is extended till here. This complete thing is glass medium. Okay. So if the angle of incidence increases, this angle of incidence increases, then the angle of refraction also increases. And at one particular angle of incidence called critical angle, where IC is called critical angle, the angle of refraction R is equal to 90 degree. The light ray, do remember this dear students, light ray is moving from denser medium to rarer medium. Okay, so for a angle of incidence which is equal to critical angle, angle of refraction becomes 90 degree. Okay, so this is the direction of refracted ray. So means at critical angle, angle of refraction is 90 degree, means light ray moves, it grazes the surface of separation. If in case, if I increase the angle of incidence, means if the light ray which is moving in this direction, okay, so where angle of incidence is bit greater than critical angle, then light completely gets reflected. This is called total internal reflection. Total internal reflection means for a light ray which is moving from denser medium to rarer medium and angle of incidence is greater than critical angle, the light ray completely gets reflected to the same denser medium, and that is called total internal reflection. Total internal reflection. So there are two conditions for this, dear students. These two are very important points for 2 marks. Conditions for total internal reflection. As I have already told you, light should move from denser medium to rarer medium. Let me write here. The light should move from denser medium to rarer medium. The light should move from denser medium to rarer medium. The second condition is the angle of incidence that is I should be greater than critical angle. Should be greater than critical angle. The light should move from rarer to denser medium and the angle of incidence should be greater than critical angle, that is IC. Okay, these two are the conditions for total internal reflection. Now question is this: where do we use this phenomena called total internal reflection? Dear students, do remember, let me ask you a question. When I text a message to my friend who is there in America through WhatsApp. Hi bro, how are you? How do you think the message passes from here to America? Isn't it through internet? And how does this internet work? How the data transmission occurs by internet? It is through optical fibers. And the phenomena in which the optical fiber or with which the optical fiber works is because of total internal reflection. Okay. So when I text hi here, that message will be converted into light. That light passes through optical medium with a speed 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, and that is received in USA or other countries, and that will be converted into signals, and then he receives or she receives the message hi through WhatsApp. So do remember, dear students, the applications of total internal reflection is very important. Now let us discuss about the critical angle. What is critical angle? Let me read the definition. The angle of incidence for which the refracted ray grazes the surface of separation. Okay, the angle of incidence for which the refracted ray grazes the surface of separation, that is called critical angle. Means, if you consider this is one optical medium like glass, okay, and this is the optical medium, that is air. This is radar medium, this is denser medium. Okay, let me consider this is the normal. Okay, here we have a coin or an object. So later which is moving in this direction grazes the surface of separation. So for which the angle of incidence is critical angle and angle of refraction is 90 degree. And let us consider the refractive index of this medium is second medium is N1 and first medium is N2. Means I consider this one is first medium, this is second medium. Why? Because light is moving from this medium to this medium. But I have considered the refractive index of this one as N2, this one is N1. We can consider this is Ng and this is Na. Okay. Now according to Snell's law we have sin I by sin R is equal to, in the previous case I have written N2 by N1, means refractive index of second medium 2 are divided by refractive index of first medium. Here second medium is this, refractive index of second medium is N1 divided by refractive index of first medium is N2. Now here for critical angle of incidence, critical angle of incidence from denser to rarer, the light is moving, then I is equal to IC and R is equal to 90 degree. Now let us consider N2 is equal to N and N1, which is the refractive index of air, which is almost equal to 1. Actually the refractive index of air is 1.001, which is almost equal to 1. N1 or the refractive index of vacuum is 1. Refractive index of air is 1.001, which is almost equal to 1. For glass, refractive index is 1.5. For water, refractive index is 1.30 or 33 like that it will come. Okay. Now here let me consider the for air medium N1 is 1 and N2 is N for glass medium. Then if I apply this one to this one, so for Snell's law, sin I is nothing but IC divided by sin R is 90 degree angle of refraction, that is equal to N1 is 1 divided by n2 is n. Dear students, what is sine 90? Isn't it 1? Yes. So sine IC is equal to 1 by n. And if you want to find out the critical angle, the formula will be like this: sine inverse 1 by n. Sine inverse 1 by n. Sine inverse 1 by n. So this is called critical angle, dear students. Now let us discuss about the applications of total internal reflection. Okay, dear students, next we have the applications of total internal reflection. So here I have mentioned few of them. The first one is telecommunication systems. Second one is we use the total internal reflection in optical fibers, and those optical fibers are used in endoscopy, especially in medicine field. And thirdly, we have optical fibers works on the principle of total internal reflection, and optical fibers are used for telecommunication as well as to pass the information through internet. Then we image that too. The mirage is formed due to total internal reflection. I can show you one picture here. Look at this. So this picture is because of mirage formation. Then fifth, we have optical fingerprinting devices. Okay, so these are the applications of total internal reflection. If you know any other applications of total internal reflection, you can mention them in the exam. So this question can be asked for 2 or 3 marks. Okay, so with this I am going to end this video, dear students.